hit the subscribe button.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we will be talking about weddings and wedding costs. It's again another wedding season. It is time, for people to get together and overpay to join union. And don't get me wrong, weddings are a beautiful thing, the coming together of multiple families. But you have to understand that it is in your best interest and your spouse's best interest to not overspend on your wedding, to not go into debt on your wedding. Again, weddings are a beautiful thing. It's an exciting time of life. You ask the question or your partner asked the question and you said yes, or your partner said yes. Everything is coming into place. It's the love of your life. But you also have to think about your future. It's not just now. It's not just a wedding that'll happen in a year or two or a few months from now. You have to think about what else will be happening. You can, in some ways, lower costs by simply going to the courthouse and sign the papers with yourself and a few witnesses, as required by whatever state or country that you're in. You could also do something very simple at your local church or wherever there's a venue that may be on the cheap. But it's a business. The wedding industry is a business. Essentially, you'll be paying for everything that comes with a wedding. You'll have the wedding venue. You'll have flowers. You'll have chairs, photographer, food, alcohol. Everything is a cost. And if you add the word wedding next to something, it just costs a bit more. It comes at a premium. That's just what happens. You want an extra flower, it'll cost you a couple $100. You want an extra chair, the type of chair. Everything costs for a wedding. So what can you do? To ensure that your wedding budget does not explode, do not make decisions about your wedding in view of something that's traditional, what's expected, or what you see on TV, or what maybe a friend have done. If you do that, you will most likely run into some financial issues. I'm not talking about financial issues now. I'm talking about having costs or debt after your wedding that you have to pay for. For a wedding, have that talk with your spouse. Have that communication with your spouse. Look at the guest list. Limit the guest list. How much do you actually want to spend? How much does your spouse actually want to spend? In the end, it's about what's most important for you and your spouse. Will someone else be covering some of the costs? Will it be your parents? Will it be friends, other family members? And is it okay for them to cover the costs, right? You have to think about whether or not it is actually reasonable for family members to cover costs of your wedding. Also, remember that it's a single day. It's one day for the most part, or one event for those weddings that last multiple days. It's one event, right? And the simple fact of the matter is that close to 50% of all marriages end in divorce. You don't want to be in a situation where you spend all this money on your wedding. A few years later, you're having a divorce and you're still paying for your wedding. That is a situation that you do not want to be in. So how do you control your wedding costs? There's just a few ways that you can do it. This is only a few ways that you can do it. I'm sure there are many different ways. You could definitely change the venue. The venue comes with a lot of costs, and it sets the cost for a lot of other things that you'll do at your wedding. For example, the venue typically sets the price for a number of different things. An example would be if you're going to a golf course, on an ocean, that's going to cost a lot more than your local small church. And those chairs and the flowers, the alcohol for the venue on the golf course will also cost a lot more than what it will cost you for that small church, or just an open field, or wherever you want to have it, at your house. You also have to communicate. Communicate not only with your partner, but also with your friends and family about what your financial boundaries are, what the expectations are. What do you expect to spend? And you don't have to tell them the monetary amount, but tell them what you're expecting. Do I want 50 people or 200? Am I looking for a party afterwards or a simple gathering? So just be upfront such that everyone knows what you're planning to do. Also, you could do it yourself. There's a lot of different parts of your wedding that you could actually do for yourself. For example, the engagement photos. You could take those yourself or have someone in your family take those. If you have a good camera, someone could take those pictures for you. There are other things that you could do at your wedding that you could actually do yourself and not pay for. So look into those different things and see what you come up with. You could also change when you have your wedding. In wedding season, you'll be in competition with others for that same venue, for those same chairs, for those same flowers. So if you change when you have your wedding, you may have less competition, and therefore you'll have less costs. Also, you could change the day of your wedding. If you're having a wedding on a Saturday, it's going to cost you more than one that is on a Thursday or a Tuesday. So you have to be thinking about these different ways of how you can save yourself some money. But in the end, remember that it's your day and your spouse's day. Do not leave your wedding with an astronomical cost. Do not leave your wedding with so much debt that your debt may survive your wedding. Remember, it's one single day or one single event for those who have the weddings with multiple days. And note that you still have to live the rest of your life. You still may have to purchase a home, have kids, and these other things are very expensive. So whatever you spend now, just realize that there's a cost going on in the future. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel.